Hello and welcome back. Today I am showing you guys how to make sourdough starter. It is all of 4 ingredients and it's super easy to make. Sourdough starter I find is really helpful to be able to know how to make instead of trying to look in the store, because I've not had any luck so far in trying to find sourdough starter in the store. So sourdough starter from scratch. What you're gonna need in terms of utensils, I have a 1 cup measurement here and I have a tablespoon measurement here. I also have a fairly large bowl. You're going to want to make sure you do have a fairly large bowl for your sourdough starter, because as it rises, it's going to expand and you're going to have, you're gonna need that extra room. So those are your measuring. For your actual ingredients, you will need water, warm water, with yeast, flour, and honey. That's it. So what I've done here is I've taken 1.5 cups of warm water, and I can't stress this enough, it has to be warm water because you're dropping yeast in it. So I've taken 1.5 cups of warm water and put it in this bowl. What you're next going to want to do is with your yeast, you want about 1.5 tablespoons. So this is a tablespoon measurement. That's 1. And you just want to sprinkle it like so. Tablespoon, and I'm gonna guesstimate this part is about 1/2 tablespoon. There we go, and you're just gonna want to sprinkle it. That might look like a lot of yeast, but it does dissolve as you go through and as you let it sit. What you need to do now is let this sit for 10 minutes until the yeast has dissolved. I find between 10 and 12 minutes is usually this. Once it's been about 10 minutes, you're gonna want to stick a spoon or some sort of utensil into your bowl and just give it a final stir, just to make sure that everything is dissolved as it should be. At this point, what you're going to do is add another 2 cups of water, 2 cups of flour, which I have in here, and then 1 tablespoon of honey. I've gone ahead and added my water. I usually add the water first, and then I'll add my 2 cups, or approximately 2 cups, of flour. Now what I'm using here is all-purpose flour. It is to be noted that you cannot use this recipe with rye flour or any other kind of flour. This is one that is specific to all-purpose flour. Once I have all of that in there, I have my water and my flour. Now my last step is to add honey. For this, you're going to want about 1 tablespoon. So I have my same spoon here. Once you have those ingredients added, you're going to want to give it a stir so that it is not lumpy any longer. This could take anywhere from 4 to 5 minutes just to stir it around to make sure that everything dissolves as it should. Once you've stirred your sourdough starter into a soup-like consistency with your water, your warm water of course, and your flour and your honey, and everything is all mixed together well, you are finished this part of the process. Now comes the hardest part of making sourdough starter, the waiting. You're going to take a clean tea towel and cover over that bowl and let it sit there. Now what you have to do, you have to let this sit for between 7 to 10 days. I find in my experience it's usually the best around 8 days, but it just depends on what the temperature, the inner temperature of your house is, so make sure you keep an eye on it. While you're letting your sourdough sit, you don't just want to let it sit dormant for 8 days. You want to make sure that the yeast gets a real chance to move through everything. So you're going to want to stir it between 2 to 3 times a day. And all that entails is removing the cover, removing your tea towel, and stirring it, and that's it. Then you cover it back up and let it sit again. Do that 2 to 3 times every day. You'll know your sourdough starter is done when it gets that sourdough smell that's rising out of it, and it becomes almost like a toothpaste-like texture and a toothpaste-like consistency. That's what you're looking for. And that's it. Your sourdough starter is finished, and that's all it takes. It's super easy, super quick, and super simple. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.